It has been a bit since I've made a video about anything. Life has been really full in good ways for sure. Lots and lots of projects happening right now. I thought I would take a little wander around in our driveway and show some of the stuff that we've been up to. Right now the driveway is a wild scene. There's so many projects in motion. The weather's finally broken, gotten nice and a little bit less cloudy, certainly moving above freezing. And so some thoughts towards infrastructure and improvement is happening. The chickens decided they wanted to leave their zone over here, and so we're just letting them do it for now. Like right now we don't have any plants actively growing and the ground is still a little bit frozen, so we're letting them have a little heyday here, and then we'll get them back in soon enough. But the work that we've been working on, Juan and I have been doing a whole bunch here. I feel really great about these upgrades. Let me explain. So the firewood shed, I talked about the building of this a ways back. This is still the same firewood shed from 6 or 7 years ago. I think it cost $40 to build. I will link to videos about the construction process. What I started doing the other day, we're having an order of 15 face cord of firewood delivered on Saturday, which is an absolutely massive amount. It's going to be probably a little bit over 5 cord. And this structure, the flat face of it could receive about 2.5 cord and 2.5 cord, so not nearly enough to hold all that. And so the other day I went through and took apart some of the original eaves, the extensions that I made, and Juan and I we designed and framed out this simple extension made out of black locust lumber here, so good, sturdy, strong lumber, in such a way as to receive a solar panel and another solar panel, one over there, one over there. We'll document when we get to that how we lay up those panels and what the intent is, but basically it takes our firewood storage and doesn't double it, but it increases it by another 50%. It should be able to hold 3 cord of wood or so in this bay and another 3 over here, maybe more, and seems like a nice functional addition. It's a funky setup for sure, but I think it will make sense. The angle of this is 35 degrees, set a bit to focus on summer sun, though the reality is, so this is facing south, in the dead of winter there will not be much sun on them. They'll just simply be roof elements. But we got these solar panels used for $12 a piece, so it's cheaper than putting plywood up, and the roof will generate 1,000 watts in the summer. And our intention is to have a power station in this middle area. We'll clean this up and organize it, but there'll be a power station where folks can at least plug in phones and do that kind of thing. When it's really sunny, we should be able to have an inverter and battery system where we can run all of our shop equipment out here off grid. Folks that come by on electric bikes can recharge. We can recharge batteries or jump cars as needed. So we'll have like a power system appended onto our firewood shed. These boards cost us $1 a piece. I bought a mountain of them, about 900 of them. Really made life easier. In anticipation of the firewood coming, you can see where that lady is. This is the bay that we normally use for holding material for our biochar retorts in the wood stove. And so clearing that out and getting them into crates, we'll take the rest of this cured firewood, split it and stack it in the garage to make room. It's a lot of rearranging of materials in the very near future, but this way we can have these bays filled with firewood. What is coming in along with the charcoal work that we do, we'll refill this with little chunks and nuggets. The load of firewood should cover us for at least 2 years, maybe 3 years with the way we consume firewood. So it's gonna be a huge upgrade to have 3 years, let's say 2 solid years of fuel security, but probably closer to 3. We also have the chop saw out right now because the work that Juan and I are doing along with splitting firewood and building these extensions is processing more boards for air prune boxes. So I'll link here to our build video talking about that, where we're basically generating the raw ingredients. You see some mesh for the bottoms. We have some caches of old perlite we got for very cheap from a nursery that was closing down. And so we've got these bits, and so we should be able to build another 20 or so, maybe 30 air prune boxes for this season. And my plan is we'll get some more of this processed, but tomorrow we'll put the solar panels up and start thinking through the off-grid power system and start experimenting. Maybe we can do the rest of our air prune box build with tools and equipment on a sunny day without any grid dependence. That'd be a neat box to check. Hello, George. It feels like with these sunny days in early spring before the ground really thaws. Lenny, how are you? Take a moment and take care of these dogs running around. Have some fun. As we wait for the ground to thaw and the growing season to get ready to start, I've been doing a bunch more work on energy independence. Little bites. We're not doing massive solar arrays on roofs, but basically, here's 4 panels that now allow us to run a very large chest freezer entirely off-grid and recharge all our tool batteries. That feels like little steps in the direction of energy independence each year. Feel highly valuable. And out at our neighbor Ian's, I took a bunch of video as we made this. I think this will be its own video documenting the design and installation of this solar array. This will be 5 panels. We've got one more to put up, made almost entirely out of reclaimed materials. So these are Department of Transportation posts we got from a game farm that was closing down, and our neighbor Ian came up with a neat system to cut these fence posts from a military outpost that was closing down. So we basically have $30 in parts to build an all metal solar array. Let me look at it from the front. So this will be entirely metal array. We'll ground the array through copper, run through these down into the earth just in case there's a short. But when there's 5 panels on here, they're 340 watts a piece. This will be just shy of 2,000 watts of energy, and this will go to take a fair bit of our home off of grid, our refrigerator and some kitchen equipment, but also we'll be experimenting with this driving our electric hot water tank. I'd like to, within the next month or so, be able to take a hot bath after long days of work like this that is heated entirely from, these are solar panels I got used with scavenged fence posts that we found from a game farm and a military depot. We bought the nuts and bolts, but hey, what are you gonna do? Anyway, the days have been really full, really focused on hardscape, infrastructural elements, getting these bits ready when so that when the sun season begins, I don't really want to be focusing on building and creating stuff once the ground thaws and it's sunny. I want it to all be functional and going so we can focus on the actual living parts of these systems. But having a little bit more tech, not really high complexity, but small, independent micro solar arrays that each have their own tasks. There's some redundancy. They're able to switch back and forth. Feels really compelling to us. I would love to hear in the comments. I'm guessing in the community there are going to be some real thoroughly experienced solar genius folks, or at least just really experienced solar folks that are out there. Anyone have experience with setting up sub 2,000 watt independent energy systems, especially doing things like dump loads and things like that? I'd love to hear from you. Maybe I can pick your brain. Maybe I can do like a video consultation where you share notes with me and I can help with your garden and we can record it and share it for everybody else's sake. Pretty random specific request, but that's what we're up to right now. We'll do some more stuff around chickens and around other elements in our system to be sure, but that's what's been keeping us busy and not documenting other aspects. So hope you all are well and feeling energized and engaged with the season to come. Take care.